16 months ago, Russian forces were on the doorstep of Kyiv in Ukraine, believing they would take the capital in a matter of days and erase the country from the map as an independent country. Now, what we've seen is Russia having to defend Moscow, its capital, against mercenaries of its own making. So in and of itself, that's extraordinary.
Yesterday, Secretary of State Antony Blinken said the extraordinary events over the weekend showed what he called cracks emerge in the Russian facade. Meanwhile, the American government has been insistent that we and our Western allies had nothing to do with this.
We had to make sure we gave Putin no excuse. Let me emphasize, we gave Putin no excuse to blame this on the West or to blame this on NATO. We made clear that we were not involved. We had nothing to do with it. This was part of a struggle within the Russian system.
It is an internal Russian matter, but one that the U.S. is following intently, in part because of Ukraine, but also because Russia is a nuclear power with the largest arsenal in the world, just under 6,000 nuclear weapons.
Of course, we're very focused anytime there is instability in a major country like Russia, particularly one with nuclear weapons. There has been no change in their nuclear posture. There's no change in our nuclear posture. But it's something that we're watching very carefully.
Michael McFaul served as the ambassador to Russia under President Obama. He's now a professor of political science at Stanford University. He's got a new piece in the Journal of Democracy titled "Why He May Soon Be Remembered as Putin the Weak." Ambassador McFaul joins me now. Ambassador, thank you. We always count on you in these complicated times to try and explain what's going on. So I want to start now. I know we've been talking to you a lot over the last few days, but this story continues to emerge and new facts emerge. What's your take right now on the aftermath of this armed rebellion for Putin, for Russia, for Ukraine?
Well, the update, I would say, is about Putin's speech tonight. We were told this was going to be a very, very important speech by Mr. Peskov. And what did he focus on? He focused on a central message of trying to divide the Wagner mercenary thugs, soldiers, from their commanders. Ironically, it was exactly what Prigozhin was trying to do several days ago within the Russian military, to say Gerasimov bad, you guys are good. That's what Putin was saying. You soldiers, you're good, you're patriots, your commanders deceived you, and now I need you to put down your weapons and support me. He wouldn't have made that speech had they already done that. So to me, it suggests that he still has a Wagner problem. He hasn't solved it yet.
President Biden emphasized, interestingly so, that the United States and NATO had nothing to do with this rebellion. But in his speech, Putin continues to blame other people. He blames the so-called neo-Nazis here in Ukraine and their Western patrons for supporting it. The point is that Russians don't all have access to free media. So does this propaganda work, and does it help strengthen Putin after what's happened this weekend?
Well, he's had a really tough weekend. He's had one of the worst weekends of his life as president. So he needs to start pivoting to those kinds of arguments. And by the way, we all talk about this as his worst time, but the last worst time was 2011, when there were massive demonstrations against a falsified election there. 2011, 2012, that's when I was ambassador. And that's exactly what he did. He said these was concocted by the West, by Obama, Secretary Clinton, and me. And I think we're going to hear much more of that in the coming days. He needs to blame the outsiders. He needs to frame this as a war between us and, as you said, the neo-Nazis supported by us.